With over 400 celebrity interviews and tons of pop culture nerdiness, Too Opinionated is a safe haven for your inner geek. Find us at meistercon.com or on YouTube under MeisterCon Pod. And please subscribe. It would really help us out. Thanks, everybody. Hi, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Too Opinionated. I am so excited today. I've got actress and model Arielle Raycene with me. So welcome, Arielle.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Did you get named for Little Mermaid?
No.
Okay.
My mom wanted to name me Elle because of the magazine. She was obsessed with Elle.
Yeah,
and then like my dad was like, it needs to be a little bit more than Elle. And then they did Arielle.
Well, you had Elle Macpherson back in the day. You could go by Elle.
I don't know. There's also
I
this
like
princess or something. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's why I asked, because you're about the right age to where Little Mermaid was probably coming out around the time you were born. So I was just curious because parents do that sort of thing.
No, I know.
Yeah.
I know they do, because it's in their face all the time, you know?
That's right. I mean, it could be worse. They could name you Barney or something. You know?
No, for sure. Oh, I did love Barney. I was obsessed with Barney growing up.
Barney
was my man.
My oldest, same, just absolutely loved Barney. But back then, it was back in the 90s, you had to watch it on the cassettes or maybe PBS or something. And so you saw the same episode like a billion times on those stupid VHS tapes. Oh my gosh.
Wait, so Barney's still around?
He's still around.
Wow.
We took
doing the same
thing. We took my daughter. She was very young, but we took her like 3 or 4 times to see like Barney live. And at that time, I was working for Ticketmaster, so I got like front row seats every time, because I was working for the company. So she just assumed that when she went to see Barney, she was in the front row. Well, we took her the last time, and I wasn't able to get the nice tickets. They didn't offer those for whatever reason.
Right.
So I just got tickets. So we were farther back. She lost her mind. She was so upset about not being front row. Yeah, I still remember that. She was only like 2.
She knows what she likes.
Yeah, she knows what she likes.
She's gonna have to make some money. She wants to be front row of everything.
I was like, this was our doing, because we went and sat front row a couple of different times. So that's just the way she thought it was supposed to be. Yeah.
I get it. I would be upset too.
So Arielle, let's start this way. Talk a little bit about what got you into the entertainment business, what got you into modeling. How'd you get started?
Okay, so I got started before I even knew really what life was.
You were little.
My mom, I was little. I was 3 when I got my SAG card. So my mom was a model, and she just was like, and my neighbor was a photographer. So we just started shooting. And then my mom took me to LA Models, and I got signed. And then I was just working, and we were going on go-sees, and it was actually a fun thing. I loved it. And then my family split, so we moved to Kansas, and obviously there's not any go-sees in Kansas. Right. So I was just doing theater and like just being a kid again. And then, but I always knew in me, like, that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to perform and like do all the things. So as soon as I could, I came back to the entertainment industry.
I mean, it had to be nice that you already had your card.
Yeah, you know what though? Okay, so when I moved back out here, I didn't know I was in SAG. Like, it was so ridiculous. And I was doing all this stuff to get my SAG card again. And then somehow I was already in SAG. I just had to like update my dues or whatever. And it was the most ridiculous thing ever. I was like, Mom, you didn't tell me, like, whatever. And she's like, oh, well, I didn't know that it would be like still there, available to you or whatever. But anyways, so I was like working my butt off for free, because you have to like do free things and like get these vouchers to get, it was a pain in the butt. But then by the time I already got them again, I found out I was already in SAG. So that was a ridiculous
I mean, that's kind of funny.
Yeah, it was kind of ridiculous.
Maybe a little aggravating at the time, because you're doing, free work.
Yeah. So that was a ridiculous thing, but that's like the trials and tribulations of coming back to LA and not knowing anything, and like everyone, my family's like, I have no idea what happened back then, you know? So yeah, got started again. And then, you know, modeling always seems like modeling happens faster. Like you can
Right.
show it, right, on Instagram a little bit more. And so I think people just thought like I was just modeling after I came back to LA and stuff, but I was working on the acting stuff. Just acting takes time to build
Yeah, it
everything and
does.
like show it. So, yeah.
I mean, it really like modeling can help you get into acting, but it's not enough on its own really to act.
No,
You got to put the work in basically.
you got to put it all in.
Yeah. We saw you on Bupkis. We liked you on there.
Yeah. Oh, thank you.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that
It
was
was
fun.
really good. It was really good. And then you had like a horror movie earlier in the year, and I only watched parts of it, but the kids were watching it. I'm a chicken, so I was in and out.
I am
But
too.
I
No,
saw a
I am
little
too.
bit of it, and you were good in that too. It was like, what was it Kill Her
That
Go?
was my first feature. Yeah, that was my first feature,
Yeah.
but I did that 7 or 8 years ago.
I had heard that
So,
it
and it
had
just
been a
got
while.
released. Yeah, it just got released. So that was like, you know, I said I was in a movie a long time ago, but no one really believed me because it never came out. So
You were a
it's just
baby
ironic
then.
that it,
You know, I
yeah,
mean,
I was.
six,
I
seven
was
years ago, yeah, that's a big difference.
No, I remember I was like having down on my luck, and I was like, I'm gonna have to get a waitressing job. And so I was like applying, and then I got a job finally, because you wouldn't believe how hard it is to get a waitressing job in LA. It's like you
Well, it's
don't have
because
any experience.
everybody is looking for
I
those.
I know. So I didn't have any experience. I was like, cool, I can't even be a waiter, you know, one of those moods. And then I got a call that I booked the job. So I was like, never mind, I don't need this job. Bye. And then I left for Cape Cod. But yeah, that was a close one.
How many times do you think restaurants have to deal with an actor just walking off the job because they got a big role?
Oh, all the time. I can't imagine. Like, it must be so annoying. And they just
Yeah.
must have to like keep getting new people, new people, new people
Well, that's it. But I
all
guess
the
at some point you'd stop getting upset about it because that's just the
It's
business.
LA. Like, what are you gonna
What are
do?
you going
Yeah.
to do? And chances
Yeah.
are
I mean, that's
some
why
of
they
those actors
say
will be back.
that. Well, that's why they say like actors get like a job you don't really care about because you're gonna just leave it, you know, like
Yeah.
walk away from it with like nothing, you know? Don't like have attachments to it.
Waitressing's a good one to do that. That's a hard
Yeah.
profession. I mean, acting's very hard. Waitressing's probably harder.
It probably is in LA.
But yeah, I just bring that up because I think you're a really talented actress. Like the parts of that movie I saw, you were really good in it. And the fact that it's been several years ago, I'm sure you're even better now.
Yeah, I'm a lot better now. Thank you.
But that's kind of awesome because that was your first like feature. You were the lead.
Hmm.
Like I'm
I
assuming you
was.
were number one on the call sheet.
I was.
That's some pressure.
It, yeah, it was pretty cool though, like always having to be needed so much, you know,
Yeah.
not like waiting around so much on set, you know? It's like
Yeah.
you're always needed, which I loved.
Yeah, you were probably in
Cause like,
almost every scene.
yeah, like when the camera's on me, that's my time, you know? Like that's what gets me going. So yeah.
I tell this story poking fun at actors, but in a good natured way because I'm friends with a bunch, and like if I go hang out with them, whoever you're paying attention to, whoever you're talking to directly, they just light up because they love the attention. But as soon as you turn to somebody else, they just look like you kicked their dog or something. They're just miserable until somebody pays attention to them again. And that always cracks me up.
Yeah, we need some attention. We don't get it enough.
So Arielle, when did you start kind of the social media stuff? Because you've been very successful with it, but when did you kind of transition into that?
You know, I started Instagram before Instagram was even cool.
Right.
So like I was on there and no one else was on there. And I was like, cool, I'm gonna delete it. And then I got it back. And you know, it was all at that time. It was just us trying to figure out what this
Right.
was and what we were doing on there and stuff. But I just kept posting because I loved growing up in high school, and like junior high. I was like part of the newspaper, and like I loved
Yeah.
taking photos. And I went through I went through like dozens and dozens of different cameras because I would like lose them. I was just not very responsible. But I mean, that's like, I went through a lot, and I would make like these collages of everyone and I'd have them in my room. So like, I just loved photos in general. So I think loving photos and like having an album, because Instagram was like this first album. And I mean, looking back, I deleted all of them, but like my photos were like, I was trying to be artsy. And then like, you use those filters that no one uses anymore on Instagram, but like
Yeah.
back in the day you would use these filters. Yeah. But it's just funny to see that. And I was like, what was I doing? And like, I was so
We were
young, but
all
like
that way
posting.
though.
I know we all did that. So it was just funny. But yeah, I guess just and I think probably a lot of the modeling stuff helped gain followers
Yeah.
because I've been pretty sexy before. So
That's it. I've
that
always
always
said,
helps.
like when we started the podcast, we started a Facebook page and we've done really well with it. But I've always said that. I was like, if we were a nice looking guy or girl and we put in and featured that instead of just this weird name that we have, I'm sure we'd have a ton more followers. But then you're not true to yourself.
Yeah, that's true. I know. I was doing a stand-up show once, and I think I ended it something like, if you want like more followers, take off your clothes or something like that.
Yeah.
But because it's true. I mean, that's just kind of the way it goes.
Yeah, that's why OnlyFans has gotten so popular, because
It's a
you
crazy time
basically, I
word.
mean, there's some very talented people out there, but you don't have to have any talent to be on OnlyFans.
No.
You
Oh
just
no.
have to show stuff.
Yeah, as long as you don't mind showing all the things on the internet, it's
That's
fine.
right.
But now it's like, does that even matter anymore? Almost like I feel like it was like this porn industry, and now like RealAF or um OnlyFans have like blurred the lines a little.
A little bit. Yeah, they
Yeah.
really have. And it's like the younger generations, it's no big deal to them. They
Yeah, I
share that
know.
stuff and photos of themselves, no big deal.
I know, it's
You know,
crazy.
if we were doing that when I was growing up, our parents would have killed us.
Oh, I know.
But now everybody does that.
I know. I know. Because I was like, once I was like, Mom, I think I might join OnlyFans. I was way too late to ever do that though, because like everyone already had their like thing. That was like a COVID thing.
Yeah.
But I was
Yeah.
like, oh no, I'm
It
not going to do that.
exploded
And then I was
during
like,
2020.
maybe I should do that because you keep reading articles about how rich these people are. And then, but yeah. Anyways,
It's just
that was just a thought.
it's one of those, and now you've got people that are basically taking the OnlyFans content, which you have to pay for, but they're just putting it on the internet so anybody can see it for free.
I
Which,
know.
if I
I
was
know.
putting
It's
stuff out
crazy.
there, I would not be happy with that.
Well, I don't know if you've seen like, you probably don't go through profiles, but like if you they have to put something in their bio where it says like it's illegal to take the photos or
Oh, I didn't know
whatever.
that. Yeah.
You can press charges, but like you have to put that in your bio, or I guess they can do that.
Or they can. Yeah, because you've already put it out
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Okay, so you're tied in with a whole new platform that's
I am.
has it come out or is it getting ready to come out?
We're in the process of the soft launch right
Yeah.
now. And like
Well, I thought.
we want to get like feedback, and like, there's always
Yeah.
going to be bugs. Hopefully that's all done with now, but feedback, and we want to see like what we can change and all that stuff, but hopefully like full on running mode by next year. Like I would like to say it's going to be sooner, but you know how these things
Oh,
go.
it takes time
There's
to
always
do it
like
right.
something else, and there's something else. It always takes a little bit longer than you think it is. So
Of course. Well, so it's called RealAF. So what does that
yes.
stand for, and what is that? What's the platform?
Well, RealAF is real as fuck.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. We know what that stands for. But why?
yeah,
Why did
okay.
you choose
Well,
that
my
name?
dad didn't know what it stood for. He was confused. He was like, "What is that?" Um, But it's a 3D online social profile that's like completely customizable. I kind of use the term like MySpace, how you could customize it, you know, the webs. Do you remember MySpace? Do we
Of
remember
course,
MySpace?
we
Okay.
treated Tom
Yeah.
so badly. He
I
just he
know.
just wanted to be our friend and let us play music on our page.
So true. But just how like you could customize your page and all that stuff, make it feel however you wanted. So it's that, but it's a 3D social profile. So like the ages of regular Instagram posts will be like obsolete one day because we're like delving into the spatial web now with these goggles that are coming out in January, you know, so everything's going to be a little bit different. But yeah, it's VR, AR, and it's basically making a hologram of yourself. You go into a studio, there's like 120 cameras all around you, and you're making this video that people can place in their living room and see what you actually look like. And now it's called RealAF because we don't believe that we believe that there should be a space in the world of all this like stuff that we have,
Yeah.
where there's no photo editing, no face filters, like you are actually who you are. Because I just feel like right now no one looks like, my dad asked me, he's like, well, how does everyone look so perfect on Instagram like these days? He's like,
Yeah,
back in the
fair.
70s no one looked this good. I was like, Dad, no one still looks that good. It's all fake, you know. And we're putting that in our system. We see that, we feel bad about ourselves, like, and that's just, it's just a constant
Well, you
thing.
can't
And like,
live up to that.
no, you can't. It's just, it's not a thing. And we have to, I believe, I saw the market and there was one thing missing, a place where like you're actually real. You're not lying to anyone. This is exactly what you look like. Also, it's like obviously pretty hard to edit your hologram, but you can add like photos and videos and all this stuff to this profile. But we have a thing that can block out all of the filters and stuff, so like you won't be able to post it if you're
Oh,
editing
I
it.
see. I see. That's
Yeah.
some
So it's kind of
interesting
like a
technology.
catfish. Yeah, and we're helping with the catfish movement too right now. So
Yeah.
um
Well,
I mean, I know it sounds
I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that wish that this had come along much sooner.
right. I know it's scary to like not have the filters and stuff, but like when are we actually going to ever be real with ourselves, you know? And
Well, you
stop
got to go
wanting,
out
because
in public. You know, people are going to see
yeah,
you when you're
exactly.
not filtered. So what's the point of the filters?
I know. I know. And you know, it's okay that Instagram, it's like we put our best foot forward and we like try to make everything pretty or whatever. But so I would like for this to like live on a link tree, you know, where you have all your links and stuff. And this is just like, ooh, your real profile.
Yeah.
So my hope is that everyone has one. And it's just, and eventually when the technology gets better, we'd like to make it like a social media platform 3D, which will come down the line. But right now we're just focusing on the profile, and you can also like lock different assets. So like different videos, and your fans can pay for it. Like let's say a comedian could go in there and give like a private show that's in real
Yeah.
life. That could be in your living room, or a singer could like drop an album and lock all the songs and they could be performing in your living room. So
Well, I told you my wife works for Live Nation, and I know that they're looking at ways that they can do the virtual concerts where everybody can basically attend a concert in their living
right.
room instead of having
Yeah.
to go to a venue. So the technology
Mm-hmm.
is coming. So I think it's great that you're
Technology's
kind of getting out
coming,
in
like
front
it or
of it.
not. Here we come.
It's
I know.
coming. Yeah, it's coming. So okay, so some questions with it.
Mm-hmm.
So I get the green room concept. You go to a studio, you go in the green room, and you can dress, fix your hair, makeup, however you want when you go in there, and it's going to make this holographic image of you.
Yeah, it's a circular studio.
Yeah, I know it's so neat. I was looking at some of the videos on YouTube. Really neat
Yeah, it's cool.
stuff. But how many locations are there going to be for people to go to, or is it just
Yeah.
starting out? It's just going to be like in the bigger cities, and then hopefully it'll expand around the country.
Yeah, well, we're working on all of that right now. It's been a big process. Right now it's just going to be in LA, but
Yeah.
we'd like to do New York and Florida. like the major places. Also, we were thinking about like a traveling studio at one
Oh,
point
that's
where like,
neat.
you know,
Yeah.
like it's like a tour, you know, a studio tour
Yeah.
type of situation. So yeah, but one thing at a time,
That's
obviously.
right. That's right. One thing at a time. Is the plan at some point for people to be able to do this at home if they set up their
Yes.
own equipment?
So we do have, there is something called a chroma key, and it doesn't do 360 volumetric, but it does place you in your own room or like wherever
Oh,
the person is.
yeah.
So that is available. But it's just not completely like amazing for like, you can't walk around the person, but the
Right.
person could be in your living room. Yeah.
So, okay. So once you get that made, where does the hologram go? Do they send that to you and you put it on an app, or how do you make use of
Yeah,
it?
so it's RealAF.app, and basically the holograms or the videos that you make live on a micro web page.
Mhm.
And so there's that link to everything, and like you can text the link, you can do anything with the link. So that's where all your assets will live on.
So if I make a hologram of myself,
Hmm.
right? And then let's say one of the grandkids has a birthday party and I can't come.
Right.
Could they use my image to put me in some type of room for
Yeah.
like a birthday party?
Yeah.
Like, can I
Like,
give them the image to use?
oh, like if we could just put an image in the hologram so they could use it.
Well, yeah, like if I have this hologram and I've got it in a wallet or an app or something, can I like sell or give that to other people to
Oh yeah,
use?
you can give it to them. Yeah, they can like open it up. You just text
Okay.
them directly the link. Yeah.
Yeah, I think
And
that's
then
kind of
after
neat.
yeah, so after 6 months of like being on the app, you get the video and all of the stuff like yourself. So it doesn't have to be on a website link or whatever.
So if you've got this hologram, is it limited to whatever you recorded when you made the hologram? Or if you, let's say, sell that to somebody, can they make the hologram do other stuff?
No, so it's only what you did inside the
That's what
studio,
I
but
thought.
that's when you
Okay.
can keep going back in. Yeah. But that's why we're just focusing right now on like a profile, you know, where it's
Well,
just
yeah,
you
it's
standing on.
early. It's
Yeah.
early.
Yeah, it's early, but the technology is just getting better, faster and
Yeah.
faster. So we're not far off,
Yeah, it's
especially
pretty
after the cost.
exciting. Well, I saw like you did one that they were putting in a beach setting, and it looked
Yeah.
real. It looked like you were on the beach.
Yeah. Yeah. You can be anywhere.
Yeah.
For the
I
first
just
time, you
kind
can
of
be anywhere.
like, to me, I envision it that, let's say I'm a musical artist
Hmm.
and I've got fans that would like me to come hang out in their little room that they've made, then they could purchase that image to come and just sit in the room.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah, I think that's kind of neat. I could
It's,
see where, I mean, it's all going to be price points, but assuming that it's
mhm.
fairly affordable, I could see where that people would love to do that.
Yeah. And the artist gets to choose their price point for what they're going to sell it for. So it's
Yeah.
completely up
Well,
to
I
them.
guess they can kind of choose like they could make several of them doing different
Yeah.
things, and then you could change the
Absolutely.
prices for whatever your thing is doing.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's kind of neat.
You got it. Yeah.
I wonder if I could make
It's
one
the
of just
future.
just me doing a podcast interview, and then I could just sit at home, just put my
Yeah.
put my hologram in there asking generic questions.
Wait, when do you get to LA?
So I'll see. I'll be there on the 25th.
Oh, okay, not until the end. Sorry. Okay, well, maybe you could come in because we'll be having soft launch studio events
Oh,
soon.
you'll have to let me know. I'd love to come and at least see
Yeah,
the stuff.
yeah, cool.
Yeah,
For
yeah,
sure.
that's cool. So where's the studio in LA?
It's in the valley right now. We're still
Yeah.
figuring out like where our main stage is going to be, but right now it's in the valley.
Yeah, very good. Very good. Well, and
Mhm.
LA is the place to start. I mean, you'd have to start, I think, either in LA or New York to hit the biggest
Yeah,
audience that you can until you're able
absolutely.
to make more studios in different locations. I mean,
Yeah.
LA, I was telling you, I was in West Virginia. LA's got more people than we've got in the entire state of West Virginia.
Wow. I
So
didn't know
it
that.
makes sense. Yeah, it makes sense. And it's not close. LA's a lot more people.
Wow.
So, yeah, we're just a little state. So it would
Yeah.
make sense that you'd want to start in a more densely populated area so that you can hit as many people as possible. I love the traveling idea too. You should do that.
Yeah, that's the plan.
I'd do that just to tour the country.
Right? I know, that's actually my dream. I've always just wanted to, like, get an RV and just go
Yes,
across
I
the
know. I have
country.
too, but
Matthew McConaughey did that. He wrote about it in his book, and he's like, "That's how I became a better actor." He's like, "When I was going to acting class, I, like, got bad at acting, and then I was like, I'm gonna go where the people are." And he's like, "I just drove and was, like, with the people."
yeah, I know. I mean, he's a character, but he's a kind of an amazing guy. He
He's an amazing character.
yeah, he
I
filmed
love that book.
We Are Marshall here in West Virginia, because that's, Marshall University is here. So they did the movie We Are Marshall here. Well, he came and hung out with the football team basically the whole season. They weren't even filming. He was just on the sidelines. You go to a game and there's Matthew McConaughey just running around, on the sidelines at a Marshall football game. I'm like,
I
who
love
does
that. He does.
He
I
does.
love that, though.
And he
Yeah.
wasn't just, he wasn't just hanging out. He was involved. He's cheering on the players and he's running up and down the bench trying to get them psyched up. And I'm like, that's pretty cool.
Cute. That is cool. He's
But yeah,
cool.
if I could just, like, if somebody could go with me that could handle all the stuff that you have to deal with an RV, then I would love it.
Yeah, that's true. I know my car just had a flat tire and I had no idea what to do. And then my boyfriend tried to teach me what to do, and I was like, "You don't actually think I'll be able to do this myself, right? There's no way."
That's what always keeps me from going out and buying a camper, because I'm like, be a lot easier just to drive to wherever we want to go and then stay in a hotel.
I
It's
guess
not as
if you,
cheap.
yeah, I know. So true.
It's not
It's
as
so
cheap.
true.
I mean, do you like to
It's not
camp?
as
Do you go camping?
No,
Yeah, me.
no.
My wife loves
I
it,
don't.
and I'm
Oh,
not.
really?
Oh, she loves it.
Not even glamping, just
Oh, I
camping.
could probably glamp. I haven't done
I
that,
could
but I
glamp.
could probably do that.
I haven't either. I
Yeah,
would like to glamp though.
I told
Yeah.
her
I
anytime
think
she wants to do that, I'm in.
yeah.
But this
Yeah.
regular camping stuff, I mean, West Virginia, you probably haven't been here, but it's all
I
outdoor.
haven't.
So it's whitewater
Right.
rafting and rock climbing and zip lining, and it's all outdoors, and camping's a big part of that. And she loves it. She grew up, in a little community on a river. So she's used to that,
You.
being outside and everything. Not me. I was born here too, raised here. Not me. I have no
Yeah,
desire.
I grew up on a farm, but I'm still not, I don't need to be outside.
Why be uncomfortable if you could just go to a hotel?
Yeah.
I
don't know. Some people really just love the idea of like building the thing
Oh, yeah.
and all
And they
that
love being
stuff.
outdoors,
Like,
nature.
yeah, the fire and like you have to work for everything. And I don't really like that.
I like nature, like to look at nature, but I'm not a big fan of all the things in nature.
No, me neither.
I
No.
don't want animals and
Oh, yeah.
bugs and stuff coming around. No, thank you.
Oh no, I freak out. I freak out. I'll do a hike here and there, but that's the extent.
So when you did your initial hologram, what was that like? When you got to see yourself as a hologram, what was that like?
Mm. Um, well, it was scary going into like something that's like 120 cameras all around, or like, yeah, all those cameras around you that you can't like hide behind, That's
Right.
why I initially thought like this could be something where like people can't hide and they're going to be real here,
Yeah.
But it was just crazy to see. Like, obviously this technology is all new, and I think like when new things come out, just like when Instagram came out, we're always like, "Hey, what is this?" Because that's how I am with everything. Like, I don't know what that is, but like you kind of have to jump on the bandwagon or get left behind. So yeah, it was cool. Now I'm like really used to it because I'm doing it all the time. Like, oh, there's a me and a hologram again and me again. But yeah, the initial like reaction is everyone's like, whoa, this is crazy.
Yeah. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Well, and I could totally see that becoming a thing with OnlyFans as well. People would pay for that type of experience, right or wrong.
Oh yeah.
It's a thing that's out there, and I could totally see people, wanting to pay for a hologram.
Oh, definitely. Have them in their bedrooms doing whatever they want to do.
Yeah. Now I don't know about the actual filming of that so that you could use it for those purposes, because somebody's going to have to go into the room, the holograph room, and do that. So I don't know how, but people are very comfortable these days. So
yeah, when you're in the studio, they have to be in there by themselves because the camera's all the way around. So the director, which I'm the director, is like talking from the outside or shouting because like we can't get like a mic in there, so it's like a whole process. But if they were in there doing whatever they wanted to be doing, they would be alone and I could have a closed set with the TV, whatever, what I mean?
Yeah. I guess that's true. So how did you become involved with RealAF?
There's this company called Digital Things that is trying to solve a problem for spatial webbing, and I went in to just like test for them or whatever, and then I came up with this idea. That's why I was like, this is scary, but like amazing, but this should be open to like all content creators and artists and stuff. So then that's the technology we're using, because I'm not sitting over here doing coding by any means. But yeah, that's how it came to be.
I mean, that's a pretty amazing idea to come up
Thank
with.
you.
But then you had to put together a team to actually do it, right?
Yeah, I'm using the team that was like already from the other company because they already have all the coders and everything. And I mean, I got onto Slack for the first time. I didn't know what Slack was until, I started this. But
yeah, Slack that's a rabbit hole.
Yeah. I kind of like Slack now though. I was like, what is this thing? But yeah, everyone's on Slack.
Everybody's on Slack. If you're doing business, you better know how to use Slack. Because everybody uses it. It kind of took the place of just a regular messenger.
Yeah, it did. I wish there was like other features that I feel like they're missing a little bit.
It's kind of
basic. You could
basic.
like yeah, it's really basic. I wish you could like write yourself notes or something, or like to-dos that you need to do on your own and without like messaging yourself,
See, I think you've got a really good mind for this type of technology and how to use those different things. People should be talking to you.
Oh, thank you.
You got some good ideas.
Say I'm an idea generator. I wish I could get paid for that, but just like put me in a room, come ask me questions, and pay me for my ideas.
I always say that too. I was like, I'm an idea guy. I have no idea how to do any of it.
Yeah,
I can tell you some great ideas.
I know. That's why I just wish I was like, me and my dad were talking about this because we just went on a trip to Italy. Like, don't we wish we were just like so rich we could just like do all of our ideas? Because we have so many ideas. Like, I just want, like, that's the funnest thing to do in life, right? Is like doing your idea.
I think if I had money, that's what I would do, is just try to make some of these ideas happen.
I would just do all my ideas for fun. Yeah. I would be up at like 5 a.m. with different teams on this idea and that idea. Like, it's so much fun. And then you just Slack everyone and make sure everyone's doing everything.
That sounds pretty great to me.
I know, that's like the ideal world.
If this takes off, and I think it will, because it's a great idea, but I'll say if and when this takes off, then how does that affect you? Does more of your time go to this and take away from acting and modeling? Or can
you nothing will ever take away from my acting. That is my number one baby, pride and joy. Like, nothing will take, but there's a SAG strike, so right now I can focus everything in on this.
I know the timing for this is actually pretty good.
I know. It was kind of like it worked out, ironically. So yeah, I guess I'm just gonna take it one day at a time. I can always get like someone to fill in for me if I have to. But yeah, that's down the road.
Yeah, I should have mentioned Confidential Informant. You were really good in that too. You were Ginger.
Oh, yeah, I was Ginger. Ginger was fun.
Yeah, well, it had Mel Gibson, Kate Bosworth. That was a good movie.
Yeah, it was. Thank you.
Yeah. That was pretty good. Well, I always like it when I get an interview request and then I go see who it is. I'm like, oh, I know them. You know, 'cause
Yeah.
that I spent years trying to figure out what to do with all the useless knowledge in my head, and then podcasting came along, and now I can actually
That's amazing.
put it to use.
Yeah, I love that. It's a real talent though.
Well,
You
I
have to
don't
be
know if it's a
you
real
gotta be
talent,
good.
but
No, but like it's a talent between the good ones and not the good ones, you know?
that's true. That's true.
When
Well,
there's an
I always
interviewer
said
interviewing you,
the best thing about podcasting is anybody can do it. But the worst thing about
yeah,
podcasting is anybody can do it.
anybody can do it. Yeah, I know.
If you really want to
But
have like a successful podcast, it takes a ton of work, and most people just don't want to
I
put
know.
them in.
I know. I've like semi started one, but got distracted with all this
I
other
was gonna
stuff.
say
So
you really
it is a lot
should
of
do
work.
one.
Yeah. I'm actually, my girlfriend's coming over and we're gonna rehash it and talk about it again tonight. So we'll see what happens.
I mean,
That's like my ideas.
yeah, just try it. I mean, if it doesn't go
I know.
anywhere, it's still fun just sitting around talking.
Yeah. And well, I was like, we're thinking about doing like a limited edition series about like the
Yeah,
story that we know. Cause like these podcasts are getting made into like shows.
right.
So we're kind of thinking like maybe that could be a thing.
Yeah, yeah, and they're pretty good shows. It's not like they're turning crap TV out there.
No,
They're good. The ones they're
no,
making
they're
out
good.
podcasts are really good.
They're really good.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's well, Arielle, this has been terrific. I think RealAF, the name cracks me up, but I think it's such a great technology, and I'm surprised that nobody had come up with it. So good for you for
Thank
getting
you.
involved in it early and actually taking the steps to make it happen. That's awesome.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're so welcome. Did I see or read that you were a pretty good pianist?
Oh yes, I was. I was like playing piano and I was competing all through high school
Yeah.
and I did recitals and everything. My piano teacher, she was so hardcore, like so crazy mean, but we're friends now. But she taught me so many lessons about life and like working hard
Yeah.
and dedicating and like don't do anything half-ass. I wouldn't even be allowed to go back. I remember like I was really sucking and she gets so pissed and she's like, you can't come back until you actually work. And my mom, I was not going to tell my mom. So I just had my mom drop me off, just kept dropping me off and I would just sit outside of my piano teacher's home. And then my mom noticed like a few weeks went by and she's like, Hanky, her name's Hanky. Hanky's not cashing the checks. And she's like, I'm going to call her. And I was like, oh no, don't, no. And then I got busted. But yeah, I learned my lesson and I
I mean,
never
do you
did that
still
again.
play it all?
I don't play as much as I wish I did, but where was I? I was in Italy with my dad and I heard this pianist just like pound out and I remember doing that back in the day and I was like, okay, I'm going to start playing again. Writing, playing the piano, getting out your
It's
aggressions, like
awesome.
it's so much like it's equal to like working out, I think, because
Yeah.
I like the pounding pieces. That's my real thing. So it really lets it all go.
Yeah, that's pretty great. Can you sing?
I can talk sing. I have done theater where I have to sing, and my mom like taught me how to talk sing, so I can do that. I'm not
That's a
competing against
talent.
any singers. Yeah. I mean, I can make it work. I know like musical notes, so I can do it.
Yeah.
Not amazing, but I can do
So
it.
if you got cast in a musical, you could hold your own.
Oh, I would totally do it. I would get on it. I mean, that's kind of what I do. I always say I can do everything, and then when I get hired, I'm like, okay, shit, I better go
Yeah.
fucking figure this out.
I've always heard that the big one is actors always say that they know how to ride a horse. And then they have to
Oh
go
yeah,
figure out how to ride a horse.
I've said, yeah. I know how to do everything. I know how to do stick. I really don't know how
You
to
don't want to
do
miss
that,
an opportunity.
no, I will figure it out.
Yeah. Yeah, I think
Like for Ginger, I said I could pole dance and I had no idea, so I just had to go figure it out.
that's yeah. Well, at least that way you're getting exercise while you're learning a new skill,
No,
I
it
guess.
was fun. I had so much fun, like learning all of that stuff. It was so good. I told myself I was going to keep up with it, but I haven't, but
Well, you've been a little
I
busy.
told myself again yesterday that I'm going to go back to it. So we'll see.
Yeah, you're a little busy.
Yeah, I'm a little busy.
Just a little, just a little.
Just
Well,
a little.
Arielle, so a couple of things before we wrap up. Is there? I doubt it, but is there anything else you're working on that we can kind of keep an eye out for?
I have some things in the works, but they're so like beginning stages, so
Yeah.
I'll just wait on that one.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
it's like
Well,
another little
so I'm
baby.
assuming you'll put that out on social media once it's to the
Yes.
point that you can announce it. So where can we find you on social media?
Oh yes. The Arielle Ray, and that's ARIELLERAY. And then my Twitter or my X, whatever, is Arielle Raycene, RAYCENE.
Yeah, very good. Very good. So if our listeners want to learn more about RealAF, where do they go?
Oh yeah. info.realaf.app. And then our Instagram is wearereal_AF. And if there's anyone in LA right now who wants to come in, or is interested coming into the studio, you can email talent@realaf.app.
Oh, very good. Very good. Yeah, I'll probably be doing that. See if you guys are
Yes.
around when we come
No, you
up.
got to let me know.
Yeah, I will. I will, because it'd be fun
Okay.
just to go in there and mess around a little bit.
Yeah, it would be. We'd love to have you.
You might change your mind once I got there. They'll be like, who is this guy?
No.
Well, Arielle, I hope you come back. You got to come back and give us an update on how this is going at some point down the road.
I'd love to.
Yeah, this has been fun. Okay, hold on one second.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
You are so welcome. All right, so that was actress model Arielle Raycene. Check out RealAF. I think it's a technology that we're going to be talking more and more about. Good for Arielle for getting ahead of it, because it's coming. Somebody was going to come up with this. I think there's probably a lot of people out there working on it. She's kind of jumped the field a little bit and has that company out there doing stuff now. And it's kind of a slow rollout, but within the next year, we're going to be hearing so much about that. So if you're in LA or somewhere close, definitely check them out and keep your eye out if you're not in LA, because it sounds like it's going to be rolling out across the country. So just terrific. Hope you guys enjoyed that. If you're finding us for the first time and you'd like to support us, we could definitely use the help. And it's really easy to do. It's free. If you prefer to watch, you can go to YouTube, MeisterCon Pod. Just hit that subscribe button. That's all we ask. It's free. Really does help us out. We were recently named number 82 on IMDb of the top 100 podcasts. Pretty big honor for us. There's 38,000 podcasts on IMDb out of 15 million podcasts that are out there, and we're number 82. So very proud of that. You can support us by going to imdb.com and looking up the Two Opinionated podcast. Just look at our page. That's all you have to do. That doesn't cost you anything, but that traffic really helps us out. So please do that. Just take a few seconds, look up Two Opinionated on imdb.com. Help us out a ton. We put out episode 635 today. You can find all of those audio and video on our website, meistercon.com. If we're doing anything in studio, if we're going on location to record a hologram, or if we're covering a convention, anything that we have going on will be on the website, meistercon.com. So please check us out there. Thank you guys so much. Until next time. Bye, everybody. Hi, everybody. I'm once again here to ask for your support. It's been a big year for the Two Opinionated podcast. Back in February, we got to live out a dream, moderate for William Shatner here in our hometown. In May, we passed 100,000 downloads on our YouTube channel, and we followed that up in June with 50,000 downloads on the audio side. We recently posted our 600th episode, which is pretty good volume for just a father and son operation. Not too many podcasts can keep that volume up. We've been doing this now for 4.5 years, 600 plus episodes. We recently hit 1,000 subscribers on our YouTube channel, which is a really big deal for us because we've always gotten the views, but have struggled to get people to subscribe. So that 1,000 was a big deal for us. And best of all, we were recently named one of the top podcasts on IMDb, which is the entertainment database. You know, those that are ahead of us, we came in at number 82. Those that are ahead of us are bigger companies like Disney, mostly Marvel, and Joe Rogan, that type of podcast. So for us, being just a small West Virginia father and son podcast, to be in the top 100 out of 15 million, it's a pretty big deal for us. So thank you for everything you've done for us so far. Got a couple little ways, though, that you can help us, and they're free and they're really easy. If you haven't checked out our YouTube channel yet, please go to YouTube. It's under MeisterCon Pod. Just hit subscribe. It's free, doesn't cost you anything, really helps us a ton. And maybe even more important, if you could go to IMDb, imdb.com, look up the Two Opinionated podcast, and just look around the page. Just having that traffic on the page really helps us out. So that's a couple easy ways that you can support us, even if you're not listening or watching all of the time. And we want you to listen and watch, because I think that our guest list, I would put up against anybody, any other show, podcast, anybody out there. I think our guest list holds up. So please check us out. You probably will find somebody that you like, or maybe somebody that you didn't know you liked, but kind of discovered them on there. There's tons of that. If you're into music, we have that too. If you like books, we've got authors on there. If you're more into what goes on behind the scenes in the entertainment world, you know, we've got producers, directors, video artists, anything you can think of that happens behind the scenes, we've had them on the show. So definitely check us out. Thank you guys so much. Until next time. Bye, everybody.